Hello, welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host Wyman, and check it out here. Got a cool Star Wars shirt. Vader versus Luke. Da-da-da-dum. Yeah, cool shirt, eh? Let's see. I'm gonna take a quick look. See, I'm sorry it's been a while since I've been on. I was trying to take care of a bunch of business here. All right, let's see here. And let's see here. 15 subs. There's my channel.
Hello, welcome to WyzGyz.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to find this supposed stream that I'm on, but so far it's not. Oh, you know what? Oh, dang it! I think the key is doing it from within YouTube Studio. Crud. Alright. Man, that's making me sick. So what if we lock the preview here? Not sure what the heck is going on and why I can't interact with the things that I'm pulling up. Oh, you know what? I think this was an image. Oh, well, it said browser. And I punched in the web browser page. Excuse me. Playlists. Channels. Discussion. About. I don't see anything. Oh. With regards to this stream. So I'm not sure how this is considered streaming. I thought it was supposed to tie. I thought OBS was supposed. Oh, I did it again.
Hello.
I thought it was supposed to tie into. My YouTube channel. I upgraded my OBS to the latest version available. I did that upgraded today, literally. Automatic scene switcher. How does that work? Oh, alright. That doesn't look like something I need right now. Alright, so that's probably for if you have a stream and you want to cycle between the different people who are part of the stream. I'm not even that far yet. So I can't interact with this at all. I thought it was browser I needed. Let's remove browser. See what other choice that I might have selected. Browser, color source. Huh. What is that? Solid white is all F's. Pound sign followed by 8 F's. While all black is FF and a bunch of zeros. Now what happens if I then bring in save. Oh, this didn't help. Then we go back to color source. Oh. Ah! Okay. Man, I hope I don't have to do this for everything. That's nuts. Okay, so I'm gonna shrink this some. Oh wait, hold on. Color source is that is so bizarre. How bizarre, how bizarre. Go behind. Order, move to bottom. Ha! Alright, then this. Oh, shoot. Alright. Huh. Alright, so this part, so far so good, but the problem now is. Crap. Alright, so I got a background. Now my problem is I can't interact with this. Alright, so I have the browser 2 highlighted. I'm going to make sure it's on the top. Order. Move to top. And then excuse me. Interacting with browser. Oh, weird. Alright. So oh, okay. Okay, I can't interact with the window itself, so I have to use an interact window? Oh gosh, this is crazy. I really need to watch more tutorials. Oh great, where's my interact window now? By the way, my version of OBS for Macintosh is 24.0.6. That's the newest version available. And I'm using this on a Mac Pro mid 2010 Tower on Mac OS Mojave. And what I'm trying to find now is my other window. Oh shoot, what's going on? So on my other monitor, you probably can't see this. I've got all these scenes going on. Whoa! Oh, how weird. Oh, this is a preview of the screens. Alright, so how do I interact with these suckers? I don't want to physically move the location. Where's my interact window, I wonder? Hmm. Oh man, I need more training. I need to get to the bottom of this and figure out how on earth to use this effectively. What I'm trying to do is have a browser open that I can interact with. So, man, I hope I'm not blocking your view. Alright, so I'm trying to, I wanted to go over this notification from YouTube about the harassment policy. But it's not even allowing me to, go below that. You know, you're expecting the article to be considerably longer than that. Yet all I can get access to is this one chunk of image, I guess. And it feels like an image because I can't go beyond the sentence. Yeah, let's see. Maybe browsers isn't what I need. Sorry if I seem to be zoning out from time to time. I ate a humongously large lunch or brunch today, and it was quite filling. And not to gross anyone out, but it was more or less chicken and dumplings, and instead of just the torn up shredded chicken or boiled chicken, I took more or less chicken fingers and sliced them up. They were deep fried or baked chicken fingers, the kind that have the breading on them, like fried chicken does. And I sliced those up, and then I added it to the chicken and dumplings and gravy. So I know it sounds kind of gross, and it can be quite salty, but I decided to give it a try because I was curious about it. Sometimes I eat some weird stuff. Excuse me a moment while I grab a drink. That's tap water. Basically, I grab a juice or multiple juices and or milk on the occasion. If I know I'm going to use milk for something other than just drinking. Excuse me. I finish off the contents of the bottle and then I reuse it for water. Okay. Alright, getting back to this. I'm trying to drink a bunch of water to, get my system back into gear so it's not overloaded with salt. Excuse me. And, let's see, at the same time, yeah, because especially after a big meal like I just had, if I don't try and counter it with water, then my body will be sapped of fluids. And when it's sapped of fluids, you get all these cramps. Excuse me. That can lead to like Charlie horses and stuff like that. if you got too little water to salt ratio in your body, I think is what it comes down to, then you're more likely to have spasms and Charlie horse like pains in your legs. Okay, so again, I'm trying to, let's see, I don't want to import a scene. Docs, toolbars, stats, multi-view, excuse me. Okay, let's see. It'll be curious to know whether or not you can see my OBS settings on screen at the same time. I think you will be able to. Source line snapping. Hide cursor over projectors. Make projectors always on top. Enable system tray. Preview. Hide overflow. Overflow always visible. Overflow. Transition to a scene when double clicked. That's in studio mode. Enable portal vertical layout. Let's see, so that was the general settings. Stream settings. Okay, output. Ooh, what's going on here? Warning, the streaming audio bitrate will be set to 160, which is the upper limit for the current streaming service. If you're sure you want to go above 160, enable advanced encoder options and uncheck enforce streaming service bitrate limits. Warning, recordings cannot be paused if the recording quality is set to the same as stream. Warning, recordings saved to MP4 or MOV will be unrecoverable if the file cannot be finalized as a result of VSODs, power losses, etc. If you want to record multiple audio backs, consider using MKV and remix the recording to MP4 move after it's okay. I mean, it seems to me that this should be working. Override if file exists. Automatically remixed MP4. Record as MKV. Replay buffer file name prefix. Right. Right. We're going to build a space station. We're going to build a space station. Automatically reconnect. Never disable hotkeys. Alright, so let me see if I can get this. I don't know, I might have to. Oh wait, hold on. It says interacting with. Yeah, but it won't let me scroll any further. It's like bippity boppity boo. So I close the interact window, which I finally found. Okay, so I get. Oh. Alright, so I got the blog on my other monitor. Let's see, can I. And when I interact with that, it does nothing to this window. What's up with that? Excuse me. And let me try this. Alright. So let me do. I'll leave the color capture background for the time being because, as you might have caught on, when I didn't have any color source for some reason, all the text is missing. See all this text that you see here? Well, it goes missing otherwise. Oh, come on now. Oh, it's over here. Oh, jeez. Sorry, you're probably staring at me as I am staring seemingly into the distance because I am on the verge of a food coma and I need to be focusing on this. Let's get some more water. If I can't figure this out, I'll probably have to read it. Just read it from my other monitor. Alright, back to this. Okay, so what was another thing I was going to try? I was going to add. Alright, so this is me. Display capture. Okay. Oh, crap. Now, why does it open? Oh, you know what? Hold on. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, let's save. Don't know if this was the best idea, but so. Oh wait, I'm playing with the color source. Let's hide the color source for now. We might not need it after all. Okay, so back to... I don't think we need browser 2 anymore. So we've got display capture and moi. Oh, you know what? Let's do display capture. Whoa, that's long. Oh, you know what? Let's do it this way. Wait, can we? I don't know. Okay. I wonder. Oh, psh. I'm not trying to drag it, I'm trying to expand it. Oh. I don't know, that might still work. Let me go back to this. Order, move to top. Shrink me down. Okay, so. Oh! We're making some progress! Yes! It is alive! Alright, so. Oh man, thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for your patience. Alright, so. We got the YouTube official blog, an update to our harassment policy. Oh, what a trip. Alright, I think I finally figured this part out. Took me long enough. You know what? Can we... Let's see. Huh. Excuse me, I was going to... Maybe we could do full screen now. Okay. As you can see, I opened lots of tabs and opened lots of browser windows. Excuse me, which becomes taxing on the bandwidth. So for people like me who tend to leave a lot of things open, it's ideal to have as high an internet download speed and upload speed as possible. Mainly download, I think. Okay, because web browsers, even when they're open in different tabs, they're still pulling data. They're still, trying to stay current and active. Okay, so what I wanted to do is on the source monitor. Whoops. I was going to jack up the... Oh, there we go. All right. So, here we go. All right. You know what? Can we go one more? Let's go like that. All right. So, this is the official blog from YouTube. Update to our harassment policy. Let's check this out. Wednesday, December 11th. Over the last several years, we've worked to improve the way we manage content on YouTube by quickly removing it when it violates our community guidelines, reducing the spread of borderline content, raising up authoritative voices when people are looking for breaking news and information, and rewarding trusted creators and artists that make YouTube a special place. See, that's something that's ideally what we should strive for. YouTube started as something for people to upload goofy videos on, and it later, over time, became more of like a news source, and that popularity rose so high that it became competition to mainstream media. And mainstream media and Hollywood entertainment don't like that. So they're kind of shoving their way in. And YouTube seems to be obliging them by, giving them more of a platform and giving original creators less of a platform. So, we got to constantly keep an eye on Google, who owns YouTube, because YouTube is a pretty cool platform, but if they start to go the way of, say, Facebook and Twitter and go heavily censoring everyone, then it's really, we're going to need to get some backup social media platforms in place to migrate to before that happens. Okay. Alright, so today we're announcing a series of policy and product changes that update how we tackle harassment on YouTube. We systematically review all of our policies to make sure the line between what we remove and what we allow is drawn in the right place. And recognized earlier this year that for harassment, there's more we can do to protect our creators and community. Let's hope that's the case. Harassment hurts our community by making people less inclined to share their opinions and engage with each other. You may have noticed that this is something that Disney Lucasfilm is well renowned for as of the last, say, 2.5 years maybe. As Disney's gotten bigger and bigger and swallowed up other companies, they have, or some of their key employees in the organization, even executives, have been, really knocking the fandom, particularly Star Wars, but they're also knocking the Star Trek fandom and the Doctor Who fandom. So it's really disappointing and unfortunate. The fandoms are fans for a reason. They were at one point or another in their lives were attracted to the content that was being created, and it was really cool and it resonated with them. So they connected to it, and it became, in a sense, part of their lives. And so it's not unusual to have a passion for that, even if it's just a fantasy IP standing for intellectual property, basically like a brand name, a Nike, a McDonald's, Star Wars. So let's see here. Harassment hurts our community by making people less inclined to share their opinions and engage with each other. That's something that Disney Lucasfilm's been doing, causing harassment to the fandom. We heard this time and time again from creators, including those who met with us during the development of this policy update. We also met with a number of experts who shared their perspective and informed our process, from organizations that study online bullying or advocate on behalf of journalists to free speech proponents and policy organizations from all sides of the political spectrum. We remain committed to our openness as a platform and to ensure that spirited debate and a vigorous exchange of ideas continue to thrive here. However, we will not tolerate harassment, and we believe the steps outlined below will contribute to our mission by making YouTube a better place for anyone to share their story or opinion. a stronger stance against threats and personal attacks. We've always removed videos that explicitly threaten someone. Alright, here's something I've always been curious about. So, as many of you may know, part of what made YouTube boom and become so popular was not only original people, uploading videos that they recorded off their camcorder and later their smartphones, but it became popular through music videos, stuff from Hollywood, content like movie trailers, and so much. Alright, you see all kinds of stuff in Hollywood movies, as well as hear a lot of stuff in popular music, and that contains lots and lots of violence and lots of profanity, and I guess you could say it makes you wonder where YouTube draws the line, and ultimately Google, since Google owns YouTube, because videos are still up there. You still hear all this crazy music full of profanity and what some might argue is, I don't think the term is demoralizing, degradation, degrading, verbiage and dialogue. But it makes me wonder how those kinds of sources survive without getting flagged. I mean, it's like they have a free pass, carte blanche, as it were. A blank card, blank sheet, blank check, to do whatever they please. So, sorry about the background noise. I have the window open to the great outdoors. Alright, so, excuse me. Alright, so getting back to the article. We've always removed videos that explicitly threaten someone, reveal confidential personal information. Alright, regarding confidential personal information, there's a number of people in the comic book industry, SJWs, you might say, social justice warriors is what they call themselves, who do what's called doxing. And by doxing, it means they're trying to dig up and share with the world through the internet a given target person's personal life information, physical address, maybe their cell phone number. And that's a definite no-no. You never want to be doxing someone. But if these SJWs continue to do this, then, you can't really fault, the true victim of the doxing for, turning it right back around and doing the same to the culprit. Alright, so, or encourage people to harass someone else. Okay. Like Lucasfilm encourages people to harass the fandom of Star Wars. Alright, moving forward, our policies will go a step further and not only prohibit explicit threats, but also veiled or implied threats. This includes content simulating violence toward an individual or language, suggesting physical violence may occur. No individual should be subject to harassment that suggests violence. Beyond threatening someone, there's also demeaning language. Alright, demeaning. Yeah, like what's in lots of I don't know if it's called hardcore rap or I thought there was another term for it. But it's like there's some songs that are full of the F word, full of the D word, full of the P word, and it's like if you're gonna fill a song with so much profanity, what really is the point of the song itself? I mean, are you really gonna convey any kind of message? It just shows a lack of immaturity and lack of creativity and lack of grasp of the English language. All right. To establish a consistent criteria for what type of content is not allowed on YouTube, we're building upon the framework we use for our hate speech policy. Oh, great. Okay. So whenever you hear talk about hate speech, especially on social media platforms, they tend to err on the wrong side. So by that I mean oh great, this will open a big can of worms, but maybe I'll say that for another video. Hate speech is something that, yeah, I'll save it for another video, because what hate speech is to one person isn't necessarily hate speech to another person. You know, and sometimes people are just too sensitive these days. You know, back when I was your age, you know, you used to be able to get into an argument with someone. If you disagreed, then if it came down to it, you'd get into a fist fight. And by the end of the fist fight, you know, you come to terms with the fact that, you know, you are oftentimes on the same page. And then you become friends. Yep, that has happened many a time. So it's like, you know, for certain, it's not so much applicable these days, but if it comes down to it, fight it out. That's probably the worst advice, but you know, if you have some stupid, insane, unimportant arguments, either talk it out or fight it out, and in the end, you'll probably end up friends. Okay, so we will no longer allow content that maliciously insults someone based on protected attributes. Protected attributes such as their race, gender, expression, or sexual orientation. Okay, so race, usually when this stuff is on paper, they're trying to give preferential treatment to so-called POCs, people of color. In other words, they feel that quote-unquote white people or Caucasians are not people of color. So they exclude white men and women, Caucasians, and build rules and laws to protect non-whites, if you will. And I never quite liked the term whites. But then Caucasian seems kind of an odd name too. Because it's got the word Asian in it as like the base of the word. Anyway, I mean, you've got all kinds of Caucasian looking people. You've got the Irish, you've got the Scottish, you've got the British. So it's not like they're necessarily classified as white, or are they? It's kind of confusing. Anyway, Yeah. So anyway, whenever you see these kinds of policies, rules, or laws, and they're talking about race and gender and crap, it's usually because they're trying to put down white people or Caucasians, which sucks. Uh, and instead give heavy preference to usually uh, blacks or African Americans. I usually use the term blacks because most quote unquote blacks in America aren't physically from Africa. They were born in the States, so as far as I'm concerned, most everyone is an American. Anyone who is physically born here, unless you're an illegal alien. Okay, so going back to yeah. So preferential treatment, because I guess they make a big stink about race, is usually given to blacks and Mexicans. Oops, shoot, sorry. And Latinas. And then when they talk about gender, as far as I'm concerned, there's only male and female. I don't know why they're trying to push more than two genders and all this gender neutral and binary crap. Binary in mathematics and in electronics and in engineering is 0 and 1. It's a combination of zeros and ones. So even down, most people have computers nowadays. Most people have smartphones. When it comes down, if you dig really deep into the core of electronics and computers and phones, which are basically miniature computers, all programming languages, they all originate as zeros and ones. 0 and 1. On and off. That's where you get like light switches and toggles in electricity, on and off, 0 and 1. Male and female. So there's still two genders, two settings. Alright. Let's see. So sexual orientation, straight, lesbian, LGBT, gay. So L, lesbian, that's two females together. G, gay, that's usually two males together. B, bisexual, someone who's interested in men and women. LGBT, transsexual or transvestite, if I have that right. That's someone who is biologically female but identifies as male, or vice versa. Biologically male but identifies as female. Or maybe another way to look at it is a female with male genitals, or a female with male genitals. Alright, anyway. And supposedly there's some other new ones that have been created for the hell of it. And I think it's because people are bored, they don't know what to do with themselves. and their version of being creative is to create new genders, maybe, and just cause drama, unnecessary drama, and so much about life boils down to the almighty dollar. So I think to a degree people create all this extra fluff because they feel that they can, if they make a big enough stink about it, they can get others on board to believe the same thing as they, and then they could use that as leverage against lawmakers to create laws to quote unquote protect them and thus give them special treatment. So the more you feel like a victim, the more you feel marginalized, the greater the odds you'll be classified as a POC, person of color, and thereby be eligible for like extra special scholarships, extra special awards, things like that. So I'm getting off topic. All right, so let's see here. Let's get back to this. This applies to everyone from private individuals to YouTube creators to public officials. Oh, by the way, when it comes to the whole LGBTQ XYZ situation, I don't particularly care what you feel you are or identify with. As far as I'm concerned, whatever you were born biologically is what you are. But if you choose to, think otherwise, then that's on you. As long as you don't try and shove in my face an agenda, then we're cool. I've got plenty of friends who identify as gay. And, they're pretty cool people. Alright, so let's see here. This applies to everyone from private individuals to YouTube creators to public officials. Public officials get away with so dang much. I don't know how serious YouTube is about this policy. Time will tell. So consequences for a pattern of harassing behavior. Something we heard from our creators is that harassment sometimes takes up shape of a pattern of repeated behavior across multiple videos or comments, even if any individual video doesn't cross our policy line. To address this, we're tightening our policies for the YouTube Partner Program to get even tougher on those who engage in harassing behavior and to ensure we reward only trusted creators. Channels that repeatedly brush up against our harassment policy will be suspended from the YouTube Partner Program, eliminating their ability to make money on YouTube. We may also remove content from channels if they repeatedly harass someone. If this behavior continues, we'll take more severe action, including issuing strikes or terminating a channel altogether. Okay, so see, my problem with that is, again, going back to Hollywood, which is loaded with violence, going back to the music industry, which is loaded with profanity. I don't think they're even going to touch those companies and artists, so-called artists. And I think they're just going to be nitpicky and take out the smaller creators, like me. Alright, so let's see here. Addressing toxic comments. We know that the comment section is an important place for fans to engage with creators and each other. At the same time, we heard feedback that comments are often where creators and viewers encounter harassment. This behavior not only impacts the person targeted by the harassment and can also have a chilling effect on the entire conversation. To combat this, we remove comments that clearly violate our policies. Over 16 million in the third quarter of this year. 16 million. Specifically due to harassment. The policy updates we've outlined above will also apply to comments, so we expect this number to increase in future quarters. Beyond comments that we remove, we also empower creators to further shape the conversation on their channels and have a variety of tools that help. When we're not sure a comment violates our policies, it seems potentially inappropriate, we give creators the option to review it before it's posted on their channel. Yeah, that's something that I have enabled on mine, to set aside and not make public potentially offensive stuff so I can review it. Since I'm such a tiny channel, I don't have anything in there yet, but I'm hoping to grow and eventually do foresee it, it increase messages to start coming in there. Okay. Results among early adopters were promising. Channels that enabled the feature saw a 75% reduction in user flags on comments. Earlier this year, we began to turn the setting on by default for most creators, which I'm cool with. We've continued to fine-tune our system to make sure we catch truly toxic comments, not just anything that's negative or critical, and feedback from creators has been positive. See, that's going to be a challenge too, because SJWs have invaded so many of our most beloved popular franchises and IPs. As I touched on earlier, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, and to add to it, Ghostbusters, Terminator, and the like. And it's actually movies, Hollywood studios that are, and media company, huge media companies like Disney, that are the culprits. They're actually the ones dissing on the fandoms that made those IPs, intellectual properties, popular in the first place. Without the fan base, without those loyal customers, without those customers who purchased all that merchandise based on the IPs, they'd have nothing. So the fan base is very crucial to the success of any IP. Alright, let's see here. So I wonder if Disney and Lucasfilm will be heard in any way with this policy. My guess is not, because Disney owns so much and they can strong arm and bully other companies around. Alright. Last week we began turning this feature on by default for YouTube's largest channels with the site's most active comment sections, and will roll out to most channels by the end of the year. To be clear, creators can opt out, and if they choose to leave the feature enabled, they still have ultimate control over which held comments can appear on their videos. Alternatively, creators can also ignore held comments altogether if they prefer. All of these updates represent another step towards making sure we protect the YouTube community. We expect there will continue to be healthy debates over some of the decisions, and we have an appeals process in place if creators believe we've made the wrong call on a video. As we make these changes, it's vitally important that YouTube remain a place where people can express a broad range of ideas, and will continue to protect discussion on matters of public interest and artistic expression. We also believe these discussions can be had in ways that invite participation and never make someone fear for their safety. We've committed to continue revisiting our policies regularly to ensure that they are preserving the magic of YouTube while also living up to the expectations of our community. Matt Halprin, Vice President, Global Head of Trust and Safety. Yeah, so, yeah, it is what it is, right? I'll take it with a grain of salt. I mean, at least it sounds like they're trying to do something about it. And it probably, generally speaking, shouldn't hurt. But YouTube being owned by Google in a lot of areas is very similar to, say, Facebook and Twitter when it comes to so-called toxic comments, so-called harassment. And I just have maybe a healthy concern that they might go overboard. And I also don't like the fact that, despite YouTube having such a large number of employees, they seem to rely so heavily on all their algorithms. And based on what I've been seeing from YouTube creators, it seems like at least half the time their algorithms are wrong and they improperly flag videos that they shouldn't. So people are constantly having to file appeals, and it's happening more and more. And then now with COPPA being implemented, which is the Child Protection Act, I can only see it getting worse. So that's the reading of the YouTube's official blog on the harassment policy from Wednesday, December 11th. Thank you very much for joining us at WyzGyz Entertainment. This was your host, Wyman. Hope you enjoyed this interesting read, and my sharing of my thoughts on it. And I invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. Feel free to subscribe to my channel and also mark that bell icon so you receive notifications. Click on the bell and choose all so that you get all notifications. And yeah, good deal. You have a great one, and take it easy now. Bye-bye.